This is tape 041. We're going to talk about ratio and proportion today, and I'm going to start any concept that you need to remember as we go along. If you find an example or concept you don't understand, you need to stop the tape and go ask a lab instructor or teacher to help you with it. Okay. Today we're going to talk about ratios and unit rate. We deal with these all the time in the world. We see advertised on TV, 3 out of 4 dentists recommend a certain brand of toothpaste, and 9 out of 10 doctors recommend another brand of headache medicine. We want to find out how much it costs per pound for hamburger, or which is the better buy of the cereal that we're going to buy. And all of these deal with ratios. So let's look at what a ratio is. Okay, a ratio by definition is a comparison of 2 or more counts or measurements with the same units. If A and B are 2 numbers, the ratio of A to B is written in 3 different ways. It can be written as a fraction, which is A over B, or with a colon, A colon B, or in words, A to B. In any of these cases, it is read the ratio of A to B. And we always want to write the ratio in lowest terms. Just since we started with fractions, we always reduce to lowest terms. Let's look at some examples. We want to be able to write each ratio in 3 different ways, always in simplest form. Our first example is 15 hours to 20 hours. We're going to write this in fraction form, so we're going to write 15 over 20. And then we're going to reduce it to lowest terms. Notice that 5 divides both 15 and 20, and it reduces to 3/4. This is the fractional form for the ratio. The other 2 forms would be using the semicolon, or excuse me, the colon, and then written in words 3 to 4. Our second example is 16 1/4 ounces to 8 ounces. We write it in fraction form, so we put 16 1/4 over 8, which we can then change 16 1/4 to an improper fraction. 4 times 16 is 64, plus 1 makes 65 over 4, divided by 8. And then we can rewrite this form as 65 over 4 divided by 8. Now that 8, of course, is over 1. And now we can make a multiplication problem out of that and get 65 over 4 times the reciprocal of 8 over 1, which is 1 over 8. This will not reduce, nothing will cancel, so we get an answer of 65 over 32. And then the other 2 ways we can write this is with the colon, 65 to 32, and of course in words, 65 to 32. Remember, every time we write a ratio, we're going to write it as a fraction first, and then do the arithmetic that's involved. Our third example is going to be in words. And it says that out of every 100 students enrolled in college in 1990, 53.6 were women. We want to write a ratio to compare the number of women to the total number of students. So that means what comes before the 2 is going to go on top. What comes after the 2 goes afterwards. So the number of women is going to have to go on the top. So that means we're going to get 53.6 over 100, which is the total number of students. We then need to get rid of the decimal, so we're going to need to multiply by 10, 10, to take care of the one decimal place. So we're going to multiply by 10 over 10, which gives us 536 over 1,000. And then what do we need to do to this? We need to reduce it to lowest terms, which gives me 67 over 125. And that reduces no further, and we get 67 to 125, and the other form 67 to 125. By some practice problems. We want to write each ratio in 3 different ways, always in simplest form. Now I'm going to give you 3 problems, and then I want you to pause the tape and work the problems, and then check the answers to see if you did them correctly. The first one is 30 minutes to 60 minutes. The second problem is $20 to $15.30. And the third one is a small college says that it has a small teacher-student ratio. What is the ratio of teachers to students if the college has 500 students and 25 teachers? I left out the word "it" in there. Okay, now pause the tape and work these 3 problems. These are the answers to those 3 practice problems. The next thing we're going to talk about is a unit rate. And we use unit rate whenever we're talking about things that have different units, such as miles per hour, cost per pound, or cost per ounce. And we need to be able to work with these because they're what we really come up against in most of the time. Okay, a rate by definition is a ratio in which the numbers or measurements have different units. To write 2 measures as a unit rate, this is what we do. We write a rate with the first measurement and unit over the second measurement and unit. We put this in fraction form the way we do ratios, because a unit rate is a ratio. Next, we simplify the resulting numerical fraction until the denominator is 1, and we retain the unit measures.